So today we're visiting Flatford Mill, which lies in the heart of the beautiful Dedham Vale in Suffolk. This location was the inspiration for some of John Constable's most famous pictures, including the famous Hay Wain picture, which we're going to look at in a little while. It's right by Flatford Mill, which is right on the River Stour, and you can wander down here and have a look at the location on the exact spot where John Constable sketched the original details of the Hay Wain, which he then finalised the picture in his studio in London. So this is a great place to come any time of the year. There's a very large car park operated by the National Trust with disabled parking right at the bottom of the hill, so it's only a matter of a few hundred metres to walk if you want to come down here with someone who's got walking difficulty. There's a beautiful restaurant here where you can get some good lunches and some lovely places to sit and enjoy the River Stour. Or if you really feel energetic, you can hire a rowboat out onto the water of the River Stour, or alternatively take one of the National Trust electric boats down the river towards Dedham and back, which takes about half an hour. So as you walk down the track towards a location which is called Willie Lott's Cottage, which is by the mill pond where the famous Hay Wain picture depicts, you'll see on the right hand side there something called the Granary Barn. Now in here there's a nice little exhibition of John Constable's works with a bit of an explanation about some of his most famous paintings and background to them, which is well worth a look if you're passing and the door's open. It's free to get into, and you can take your dog in there as well if you're out for a dog walk. So Flatford Mill, which is just coming into view on the right hand side, it's not open to the public. It's used a lot by artists. You can stay there in a B&B and you can join other artists there painting the scenes or anything around the area. But you can get around the mill pond, but that's as far as you can go inside. Equally, you'll be just passing on the left something called the Valley Farm. This spectacular building is beautiful to look at. It's occasionally open. It's operated by the National Trust, but generally most of the time it's closed. So here now we have the mill pond. Now just on this location, just slightly left of the wall, is the exact spot where John Constable sketched that original painting. The word Hay Wain actually relates to the cart which carries the hay, and it was originally thought it was carrying the hay across the water towards the fields which are now obscured by the trees. In reality, the later thinking is that they were simply soaking the wheels of the wooden cart to expand them after they dried out in the summer heat. So we're now approaching Willie Lott's Cottage. You'll see that the whole scene has been maintained by the National Trust as close as possible to what it was in John Constable's time. You can't actually go into Willie Lott's Cottage, but you get the feeling that you're transported back in time, because the whole area hasn't really changed at all in all those years. So now we're just reaching the point of the walking area. There's a lovely circular walk around here which will take you 3/4 of an hour. It goes right around the field and you get some lovely views of the area from here. It's very flat, it's very easy to walk round, and there's plenty of walks around here if you've got a dog or you just want to walk in the summer sunshine. This is a great place to come, and then head back towards the cafeteria for a beautiful piece of cake, a bit of light lunch and tea. So now we're just standing in the location of the dry dock. It's just into spring now, so it's actually full of water, but in the summer you'll find that it's generally drained. This is adjacent to the cafeteria, and here you can get light refreshments. Now we're just crossing over here now towards the bridge cottage, which is on the left hand side over the bridge, and at the other side you then turn left to carry on walking down the footpath towards the other side of the Flatford mill, where you can see the water and the mill race running through. And this is probably one of the most iconic scenes that you'll see. Lots of photographs here, opportunities, and we'll be there in a moment, so you have a chance to have a look. And on the way through there we'll actually pass the position of the new lock, which is located here. It's slightly different from the lock that would have been there in John Constable's days, and it's recently been refurbished, so now it's an operational lock that can be used by anyone that's on a canoe. So here we are, we've just arrived at the main mill pond, and the Flatford mill is on the left hand side. This was actually in John Constable's family's ownership when he was alive, as a number of mills and windmills in the area. If you carry on down this footpath you can take a walk to Manningtree, or if you go the other way you can go on a walk to Dedham. As you can see, it's March, there's a lot of water going down the river, so a good time to come and have a look. In the summer there's a little less flow. So now we've arrived in Dedham. It's about a couple of miles from Flatford Mill, and it will take you about 5 or 10 minutes to get here by car. There's a main car park in Dedham which you can pay and display, or there is some limited parking outside St Mary's Church, which is behind us here. Dedham is incredibly busy if you come here in the summer, particularly if the weather's warm. There's a lot of people will be picnicking and doing activities on the river, so you're best to avoid it in the very peak summertime, but you're better off trying to come here in the week or on quieter days. As you can see, it's pretty much unspoilt. It's a beautiful village with lots of opportunity to get some tea and cake, or to get a nice meal in the pubs, or visit the craft centre here, which is full of enjoyable things to have a look at, and some museums as well. Obviously a lot of it is based on John Constable's themes, so if you're going to see Flatford Mill it's really worth a visit here as well. And in a minute I'll be taking around a short tour of St Mary's Church, which if you haven't been inside before is definitely worth a look. So here we are at the parish church of Dedham, called St Mary's. Now this church is very impressive. It was started in 1492 and took over 30 years to build. There's plenty of stained glass windows here by Charles Kemp, Walter Tower, and also by John Clayton. And over the south porch is a painting by John Constable, commissioned for Manningtree in 1821. Now the pews are carved of oak and they took over 10 years to put in place. Each one has got an individual carving and inscription. So worth a look if you're coming into the church. Well, I hope you've enjoyed this brief trip of Flatford Mill and Dedham. If you have, please subscribe. It helps build my channel and make some more videos in the future. Thanks for watching.